Hey guys, so sorry about the dark settings. I really have to stop doing my videos so freaking late. New topic video. A lot of you guys have asked me, my full story of how I knew I was gay. Because I know I have my coming out story, and I think in one of my videos, I briefly talk about when I found out, but I never went into it. So this is about how I found out and how you guys will know if you're gay, because I know I have some people messaging me saying like, oh, like I'm not too sure if I'm gay, like I think I might be bi, like I know I'm attracted to girls, but I'm not too sure, it doesn't make me gay, blah, 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 blah. So we'll get into that first. So how do you know you're gay? Like male, female, like how do you know you're gay? I believe the main difference is like you could be physically, like you could find, if you're a girl, you could be like, you could say someone like that girl's like, oh, that girl's really pretty, or that girl's beautiful, that girl's hot, whatever, and still be straight. Like beauty is beauty, you know what I mean? It's like we think there's, we all have our own taste of beauty. It doesn't make you, like, all of a sudden if you say that girl is, like, hot, it doesn't make you gay. Or maybe it does a little bit. I'm eating blueberries, in case you're wondering. So, that's the first thing. Same with guys. Guys are like, they will never admit it. But I have guy friends who will be like, yeah, he's a good-looking guy. Doesn't mean he wants to bang him. So, don't let that confuse you. It's more like, it even gets more into depth. Like for girls, it's a little bit more different. Like if a guy is more willing to sleep with another guy and is curious, there is more likely that you are gay or bi. I don't really believe in bisexuality. Like I do, but like, I don't know, I feel like you're just still deciding. But that's just my opinion. I've never really met like a genuine bisexual. Maybe that's why. But, oh shit. I mean, darker. Literally, you cannot see this part of me because it's all like black. So, for girls though, it's a little bit more complicated because there are straight girls that are more than willing to sleep with girls. That doesn't mean they're in a relation, like they want a relationship. And then there are straight girls who want, like, who have been in relationships with lesbians, but still end up with a guy. So with girls, I feel like it's a lot more complicated, which is why I think I've been getting the messages. So to actually know, okay, I guess like the best way to know that you're actually gay is to be able to admit you're gay. I think is the best way. Once you're like, I'm gay, then yeah, you're willing to. Some people, like I was in denial at the beginning, but also it's like, are you willing to marry the same sex? Is a question you should ask yourself. Like there's the 5 main questions, like are you willing to kiss a girl? Yes. Are you willing to sleep with a girl? Yes. Are you willing to be in a relationship with a girl? Yes. Are you willing to like commit and marry a girl? If you, okay, so it's 4. I could count. So if you can answer all those questions, yeah, then you're probably gay. As well, if you wear like a snapback and stuff. See, that's another thing. Don't let stereotypes fool you. Like everyone thinks like snapbacks are a lesbian thing. Not anymore. Not anymore. It's like a style now. Like honestly, what used to be like the lesbian look is now like the trendy look, and it's so funny. Like I was wearing like my other snapback and I had like leopard print on it. It was like a trucker hat. I was walking down, like I live on the gay area, like the gay village of Toronto, and Church Street is like the main street. It's like the main street, the main gay street. I don't know what I'm saying. But anyways, I was walking down Church Street. I get hit on by 2 guys. 2 guys. And I was in a snapback. I was in like my black skinny jeans and combat boots. I got hit on by 2 guys. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I love how it's getting dark in here. Let me just turn on the light. Turn on the light. There we go. Oh, now it's gonna be super bright. Okay. Oh yeah, now it's super bright. So, don't think like, oh my god, I like wearing combat boots and wearing snapbacks, that must make me gay. No, that just makes you fashionable and have a good sense of taste and fashion. So, that's my spiel about it. That's pretty much the generic way of knowing that you're gay. Like, everyone it's kind of like a light bulb goes off in your head when you realize, because it takes a while for it to process. Some people, like, right off the bat, they're like, no, I know I'm gay, like, I know I'm different, da-da-da. For others, it takes a while. I feel like it's the way you've been brought up or, like, what you're exposed to. When I was younger, I was not exposed to a lot of things because my mother being very, like, super Catholic. I never watched, like, Simpsons. I never watched South Park, any of that. So I was pretty deprived as a child, so it's kind of funny that I ended up being gay. But the way I found out was, I didn't even know what gay was. Not even, I was in high school and I still didn't know what gay was. To be honest, I don't know how I stumbled upon this show. I think it was flipping channels and it just happened. But I'm sure most people know this. You know the show South of Nowhere? I watched an episode of that and it had a scene of, like, talking about lesbians, and I was like, what is that? I kid you not, for about, like, 2 months, I was always on my computer looking up gay, lesbian, bisexual, like, all these things. I was trying to understand it, and I was trying to, like, it got me so interested, and I knew it felt wrong but right, because I knew it was something, like, my parents were, like, my mom was against, but I was like, oh, but I'm so drawn to it. It was like a magnet. Like, I felt like I had to know. Like, I felt like I need to know what this is. And I was always, like, a tomboy and stuff, and I thought it was just because I liked sports, and I was never interested in boys, and I never understood why. You know, I didn't click, like, oh, I must be gay. Like, I was just super, super into sports. And when I was, like, I had friends that were girls, and I always felt nervous around them, and I thought it was because I was trying to, like, I was intimidated by them, and then I realized just because I liked them. But with guys, like, I got along so easily, and I didn't really care. Everyone had boyfriends, like, meh. Like, everyone had crushes on boys. I'm like, yeah, sure. Nothing. Like, I swear I was so motionless. Like, I had no feelings for anyone. It was so funny. So once I started, like, this pretty much happened, like, in the beginning of high school. Like, I've always known I was different. I thought it was just because I was just plain different. Like, I just felt different. Like, I didn't feel like all the other girls. Like, how they felt about boys, how they dressed, how they talked. I'm like, I'm just different. Like, I was very, very different. Which is one of the main reasons why I've never really had, like, a clique. I would literally jump from, like, every group of cliques to go along with everyone. Because I didn't know where I fit in. So once I got into, like, South of Nowhere, I became addicted. I looked up every episode, and something happened, like, in here. Like, some kind of emotion stirred up when I saw them kiss, and I was just like, like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it was just so, like, intriguing and so, like, I want more. So I started looking at more, like, gay videos and lesbian shows, movies, things like that. And then I stumbled upon bisexuality, and I was like, maybe that's what I am. Because it's weird, because I knew I still wasn't attracted to boys. I knew that, but I was like, in my head, I was like, I can't be gay. I can't. So that's why I settled for bisexuality. And I had a huge crush on one of my friends when I was 15. And that's when I came out to my best friend. His name was Matthew. And I felt so bad because he had a huge crush on me. And then I was telling him how I had a crush on one of our friends who's a girl. So it was really hard for him to take it. And it sucked because like I spent all my time with him because he was the only one that knew about me. So all I would do was talk about it with him, and everyone thought we were dating. I don't know, it's all this shenanigans. Aside from that, that's pretty much how I knew I was attracted to girls. I didn't know I was gay at this point. I thought I was just bisexual. All the bisexuals are gonna get mad at me now. I'm sorry. But yeah. And it pretty much is like a light bulb that goes in your head. So I was coming out as that, and it still didn't sit right when I was saying I was bisexual because I was more interested in girls. Like I had no attraction. It was funny because at this point I had a boyfriend. He was one of my good friends, and he told me he liked me, and I told him like, okay, well, I need time. And then it was like months later, and then I finally said okay, but like it just felt so weird. Like when I would kiss him, I was like, it was so unsatisfying and so like, ugh. And throughout high school, like I made out with a lot of guys. A lot of guys. I'm not a whore. I never slept with anyone. I've never done, I'm still a gold star. I just made out a lot. I was a lip whore in high school. And it was like kissing a wall. I guess that's why I did it so often, because I was like, it feels like nothing. Like there's nothing there. Literally. And I would make out with like really hot guys in my school, but like nothing. So as soon as like me and my boyfriend broke up, obviously, I just told him, I was like, there's nothing there. And I didn't understand why, because I would see and like hang out with like the sweetest guys, like good looking sweet guys, and there was no attraction. Like emotionally we would connect, like I would love hanging out with them, but there was just no physical, nothing. I was never physically attracted, not the way when I would be physically attracted to a girl. It's like so much more intense. And then when I was 19, so like after entering my second year of university, my cousin from New York came to visit, not from Vancouver, now she lives in New York, from Vancouver came to visit, and I was telling her like how I'm bi and stuff like that. She was the first family member I ever came out to. Not even my sister came out to. That's her. And the first thing she told me after I came out to her, she's like, Natasha, you're gay. And it hit me so hard. I was like, what? She's like, you're not bi, you're gay. And fucking the light bulb, that whole little bing went off in my head, and it just like the clouds clear, the heavens shined on, like all that happened. Not really, but like internally it happened. And I'm like, fuck, I am gay. I just never wanted to admit it. I was just so afraid to admit it because of just, I guess, how I grew up. And then that's when I knew. And ever since that day, I still remember that day, I was coming out as gay. I came out, I told my best friend, I'm like, Kaylee, like, you know what, blah, 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 this happened. Like, I know I'm not bi, I'm gay. My best friend was like, well, obviously, I was waiting for you to tell me. And I was like, fuck you. And yeah, and that's when I was like, I'm gay. And I came out as gay, and this is where I am now. So if you're like on the fence about it, trust me, you're gonna have like a revelation, and it's just gonna pop in your head, and that's how you're gonna know. Or if you follow, like, you answer the 4 questions and all that stuff. For guys, I feel like it's the same thing. I think it's a little bit easier, because it's like, if you're willing to sleep with a guy, it's pretty intense for like a straight guy to admit that. So yeah, then you're probably gay. So that's my little spiel. I'm gonna finish watching The Lion King. Later, guys. So don't let that confuse you. It's more like, it even gets more into depth. Like for girls, it's a little bit more different. Like if a guy is more willing to sleep with another guy and is curious, there is more likely that you are gay or bi. I don't know. I don't really believe in bisexuality. Like I do think there's, you know, we all have our own taste of beauty. It doesn't make you, like, all of a sudden if you say that girl is like hot, it doesn't make you gay. Or maybe it does a little bit. I'm eating blueberries, in case you're wondering. So that's the first thing. Same with guys. Guys are like They will never admit it, but I have guy friends who will be like, yeah, he's a good looking guy. Doesn't mean he wants to bang him. Male, female, like, how do you know you're gay? I believe the main difference is, like, you could be physically, not be physically, like, you could find, if you're a girl, you could be, like, you could say someone, like, that girl's like, oh, that girl's really pretty, or that girl's beautiful, that girl's hot, whatever, and still be straight. Like, beauty is beauty, you know what I mean? It's like, hey guys, so, sorry about the dark settings. I really have to stop doing my videos so freaking late. New topic video. A lot of you guys have asked me, you know, my full story of how I knew I was gay. Because I know I have my coming out story, and I briefly, I think in one of my videos, oh shit, I briefly talk about when I found out, but I never went into it. So this is about how I found out and how you guys will know if you're gay, because I know I have some people messaging me saying like, oh, like, I'm not too sure if I'm gay, like, I think I might be bi, like, I know I'm attracted to girls, but I'm not too sure, it doesn't make me gay, blah, 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 blah. So we'll get into that first. So how do you know you're gay? Like,